Hi Scorpio, welcome to your Sealing the Timeline reading. There's an astrological event taking place, and come September 14th, this astrological event will close, and whatever energies we've carried with us into this date will continue with us into the next 12-year cycle. I'm not an astrologer, but once I learned about this, I did do a reading for myself, and I felt like it would be beneficial for me to share the readings with you regarding your energies that you might want to consider. There is a link below with the actual video that talks about this timeline and what's going on, so feel free to, and please do, go and click that video once this one's over. But for now, we're going to ask God, our angels, archangels, and guides, and Holy Spirit to please share with us what energies Scorpio should consider as they prepare to move into this next timeline, this next cycle, and walk into it in alignment with their highest and best self. Show us clearly what is it that Scorpio should consider, especially in regard to love. What I'll be doing is I'll be pulling 4 energy cards, one in romantic love, one in money, one in family, friends, and co-worker relationships, and one in health and wellness. Then I'll get clarifiers on all 3 of those energies, and then we're going to have a conversation about each one. Okay, in regard to love, show us clearly what is it that you would have Scorpio consider as they move into this next timeline, this next cycle. So in regard to love, they're saying, Scorpio, let's consider some wisdom. And in regard to money, show us clearly what is it that you would have Scorpio consider as they move into this next timeline. What is it that Scorpio should consider to be able to walk into this cycle in alignment with their highest and best self? And we've got authority. Okay, and the next one is family, friends, and co-worker relationships. Show us clearly what is it that Scorpio should consider as they walk into this next cycle of their lives, that they can walk in alignment with their highest and best self. It looks like you've got 2 for that, which is the first time that's happened. You've got the universe, and you've got obstacles and challenges. Okay, and in regard to health and wellness, please show us clearly what is it that Scorpio should consider as they move into this next cycle, that they can move into it in alignment with their highest and best self. Show us clearly what is it that Scorpio should consider. And we've got reward and recognition. Okay, so now we're going to pull clarifiers on these energies and find out, get more information basically. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, and guides. Please give us clarity on this situation in love. Why would they get wisdom, the wisdom card, as the overall energy they should consider in regard to love? Please show us clearly what is it that you would like for them to consider. Clarify this wisdom card for us, please, and thank you. Okay, so you've got Queen of Summer. You've got 2 of Summer, and you've got the Dreamer. Okay. In regard to money, show us clearly what is the Authority card doing in their money house. Show us clearly why do we have the Authority card in Scorpio's money house as it relates to this cycle, and something that they should consider. Okay, we've got the Empress, we've got the King of Autumn. And Scorpio, we have the King of Summer. This is going to be a pretty powerful reading. In accordance with family, friends, and co-workers, show us clearly what is it that Scorpio should be considering. Why do they have obstacles and challenges and the universe? Show us clearly what is it about those two cards that they would show up in the family, friends, and co-workers category. We're getting the Five of Summer. We're getting the Wheel. And we're getting the Lovers. Okay. Scorpio. God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit, show us what is it in regard to health and wellness. Why are you giving them the recognition and reward card in regard to health and wellness? Show us clearly why is it that they're getting the recognition and reward card in health and wellness. And we're getting the Four of Summer. We're getting the Nine of Spring. And we're getting the Prince of Autumn. Okay, so I'm going to put on my glasses and we're going to dig into this message. I am kind of like really excited to do this. I'm excited to do all of them, but like this one is particularly interesting. Okay, so in love, you're getting wisdom. So this is the same as the Hierophant card. Some people call it the marriage card, the Hierophant card. Some people call it the marriage card, that it's time to get married. Some people, or make that commitment to move in together, just whatever that next step is for you. Some people talk about it being about traditions, religious traditions especially, structures, governmental structures, and things like that. Because this is showing up in the love category, things that Spirit would like for you to consider as you get ready to move into this next cycle. And it is about the Hierophant, but it's also about the wisdom. This man is somebody who's looking toward the future. He's looking to be able to be an example, to teach what he learns, those types of things. But he is considering the ways of old, but he's also considering who he is in this time and space today. And he's looking toward the sun. Anytime I see the sun and somebody looking toward the sun, I feel like they're looking for guidance. They're looking for the wisdom of their Creator before they're ready to make the next move. So it looks like you, Scorpio, man or woman, this is not gender specific. It looks like you've got something that you're ready to move toward, and this is pretty exciting for me, especially because of the next cards that we pulled. It's saying that you're a very loving, comforting, emotionally intuitive person. And sometimes you do for others. You're very nurturing. You do for others. Sometimes you might tend to overdo for others. So whenever it comes to a love relationship, remember to not necessarily overdo whenever you're looking at doing for others, because you kind of take away their power when you do that. Okay, you take away their power to be the very best them that they can be when you overdo for them. The next card you got was the Two of Cups, or the Two of Summer, which is the same as the Two of Cups, which happens to be the minor arcana of the Lover's card. Some people call this a twin flame card. Some people call this a soulmate card. Whatever you want to call it, because it's coming under the category of love, I'm going to say this is about a soulmate relationship. And I feel like Spirit, God, your creator, whatever you call it, is wanting to convey to you that this is a long-term situation for you. This is something that you definitely should consider strongly before you move into this next cycle. Do you want to continue this hesitation and this waiting for more wisdom in the situation, or do you want to consider that this is truly something that you're ready to move toward? And then you get the dreamer. It's about new beginnings. It's about taking that next step. It's about, because it's in the love category, it's simply about taking that next step. So I feel like what they're saying is, if you hesitate here, you might bring with you into the next 12-year cycle an energy of continuing to hesitate, which would mean that you would never get that fulfillment. It looks like it's saying, take that next step. This is a soulmate connection. This is a strong connection for you. And soulmates are generally not necessarily a romantic love connection. Sometimes it can be your sister is your soulmate, or your cousin is your soulmate, or your brother, or just somebody who there's a deep soul connection. You've traveled lifetime through lifetime together. But in this case, again, because it's under romantic love, this is a true soulmate connection. And they're asking you to take that next step. They're also asking you to not overgive. When we overgive, we take away a person's power to do for themselves. And that's not what they're wanting you to do. But the other thing that they're saying with this card is, this is the Queen of Summer, which means it's the Queen of Cups, which means it's the queen of everything emotional. In other words, and it's not gender specific, you could be a guy, but in other words, you have the understanding and the knowledge of what's going on here. But it also says, listen to your heart, because your heart knows the next step. Your heart understands where you're supposed to go next. So stop hesitating, okay? This says, embrace your true purpose. Begin the new adventure and trust yourself in this love relationship. Don't hesitate. That's beautiful. Scorpio, that's exciting. Okay, so in the money house, we're getting authority. This is the same as the Emperor card, okay? And it's funny because the Emperor is, he is a compassionate leader. He is also no fluff, no playing. Like, he's a combination of all the kings together. He's compassionate, he's passionate, he's no nonsense, and he's emotionally intelligent. So he's all of those things. So because this is in the money house, this is telling me that you have the resources available to you, the resources that you need. You are at a place in your life where you are capable of offering this future to the person that you're involved with, to this person that you are walking into this next chapter with. You don't have to worry about that, and you have the authority over your finances. This is like a wild reading. You're getting the Empress. Now, what's with the Empress is, the Empress is very nurturing. She's like the mother. So you have the Emperor and the Empress in this reading. Now, the Emperor is the energy you should consider, and under it is the Empress. So perhaps what this card is saying in relation to this cycle is that perhaps you are being asked to consider using some of your wealth, your abundance, your extra money, whatever, to nurture others. Maybe maybe start giving a little more at whatever church you go to, or maybe start an organization, or help fund an organization that does something important, that's an important cause for you. It's that mothering, that nurturing, I want to help, I want to give attitude. And it looks like that's what they're asking you to consider whenever this is what they're showing, this no-nonsense, compassionate man, but not necessarily nurturing. So they're possibly asking you to tap into the more feminine side of yourself, and this could be woman or man, it doesn't matter, but tap into the more feminine side of yourself when it comes to giving to others monetarily. Perhaps they're asking you to do something in a philanthropic manner, but the point is tap into that giving and nurturing part of yourself when it comes to your money. And then it's also, again, backed up or clarified with two more kings, okay? So you have the king of resourcefulness, and you have the king of no nonsense, no fluff, I'm going to do it my way kind of thing. I mean, he's honorable, he's devoted, he's warm-hearted, and he's mature. This one, he's compassionate, he's accomplished, he's charismatic, he's gifted. These are all who you are. And it's like, these are probably the stronger points of your emperorship, for lack of a better word. And it looks like what they're asking you is to bring in this. Bring in that more feminine quality of yourself, where you're more nurturing with your dollars, with your pentacles, with your coins, with all that stuff. That's what they're asking you to consider. Okay, in your money house, this is your friends, families, co-workers, and the first card you got was the World. It's like one cycle is ending and another cycle is beginning. It's the universe in this particular deck. But it's about completion and beginning, And it also, with it, says obstacles and challenges. So, perhaps one of the hesitations that you have with this love situation, and perhaps even with your money situation, is that you're going to be combining a family. Like, you're going to put to rest this dating thing. This is an example. It can be in any type of situation, and you can take it as it resonates, but it's like you're going to put to bed this dating thing, and you're going to start this new cycle as a married couple. Does that mean, Cheryl, are you saying we have to get married for September 14th? No. I'm saying a decision, a mindset has to change before September 14th for it to travel with you into the next cycle. So this is about ending one cycle and beginning another. This is about obstacles and challenges. So when I look at that, I'm seeing that you're a little concerned. Perhaps you're melding a family together. Perhaps just having somebody in your house who leaves the toilet seat up is frightening you. But something is frightening you, and you're worried about the things that are frightening you, that freak you out. And Spirit's saying, stop that. These are just little obstacles and challenges. Yes, it's going to change the way you see things. Yes, it's kind of scary because possibly you've never been there before. You know, it's possible that you have never been in a relationship where there were families melded together, or where you've never been married, or whatever. It's scary, and it's a long drop down there. If you mess up, you have a lot to potentially lose, or that's how you feel about it. So Spirit's asking you, first of all, stop focusing on the worrisome things. This is what they're saying. Now, this is a very, very wild reading, so I don't think it's going to resonate with a whole lot of you guys out there. Little bits and pieces of it might, but there's a few of you out there that this is your story. And this is your soulmate, and you know it, but you're scared of it. So they're saying, quit focusing on the things that that make you feel like it has the potential to fail, because they're saying this is not a failure kind of thing. This is your time. This is your time. Look at this. This is your lover. This is the major arcana of this card. So when it comes to family and friends and coworkers, it looks like I'm feeling like this is more about the family, possibly melding families together. Maybe somebody in your family doesn't think you should hook up with that person, or maybe somebody in their family thinks they shouldn't hook up with you. You know, it could be so many things that are frightening you, but whatever it is, they're saying this is fate. This is destiny. So when it comes to those things on the outside that are worrying you, let it go. Let it go and trust what God has given you, or the universe, whoever it is that you speak to. Trust that. This is some exciting stuff, Scorpio. Okay, let's talk about your health and your wellness. Normally, whenever I see health and wellness, or normally whenever I see this card, I look at it as, in this deck, in the traditional tarot, it is the Three of Pentacles, and it is about collaboration and passionate new beginnings and passionate things that you work on and all that other stuff. And it could definitely, in regard to this spread that I've got so far, it can definitely relate to the same thing with you. I always like to look at this one as the universe kind of bowing to say yes. You're on the right track. You're on the right path. Yes, this is what you're doing. So in regard to your health and wellness, because it's there, I feel like they're saying, yes, you're on the right path. Sometimes you allow yourself to get distracted, like right now with this love situation. You might be allowing yourself to think about all those things in the outside circumstances, and not focusing on the fact that this is a true gift from the universe, okay? So Cheryl, what does that have to do with health and wellness? Well, whenever you allow yourself to go to the worries and the fears of everything, number one, you could pass up a really, really synchronistic, absolute, fated opportunity. But the second thing is, whenever you dwell in fear and worry, you cause all kinds of issues in your physical health. Okay, so I've got another link down there. Instead of me trying to explain it all for time's sake, there is another link down there that is a TED Talk from Howard Martin, who is the Executive Vice President of HeartMath. And he explains what happens whenever fear and worry sits within our heart space, whenever we allow it to sit there. And I'm not talking about fear and worry like you can't move because you're debilitated from fear. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those little nagging things that stay in the back of your head all the time. They don't even express themselves outwardly, but in the back of your head and on the inside, it's constantly playing. There's a constant reel playing around in your heart and in your mind about, yeah, but if we take this next step, my kids, her kids, they don't get along. Okay, if we take this next step, I'm going to have to ask her to sign a prenup. If we take this next step, those things that you worry about, address them. Don't worry about them. Address them and move on. The fear of something is way bigger, especially when we replay it over and over and over again in our mind, is way bigger than the actual circumstance whenever we face it. The other thing you got is, hey, they're saying you've been here before, not necessarily in this particular situation, but you've been in situations before where you've had battles, you've had worries, and you know what I just said is true, that whenever you just face it, whenever you just walk into it, everything turns out well. But again, these worries and fears that you're allowing to hold you up, or they are not only physically affecting you, but mentally They're distracting you. They're distracting you. You can't concentrate and do the things that you normally do. Your productivity is down, a little scattered and stuff like that. Yeah. So whenever we allow things to play, the stories to play over and over again in our mind, this happens. So what this is saying is, hey, no. This is just like back in 1982, whenever, blah, 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 and you finally face it, and guess what? It was no big deal. So do this for yourself. Do this for yourself in this situation. Yes, it's exciting. Yes, it's scary as all get out. But this appears to be, I'm telling you, I don't pull these cards hardly ever come up in my readings. I'm telling you, they don't, because my intention is not to blow smoke up anybody's butt about love, because I think there's quite a few people out there who that's all they're worried about is love, and I don't what am I trying to say? I think self-love is so much more important, because whenever we can find true self-love and really become whole in ourselves, that's when the universe can send us our perfect match. Until then, whenever we're yearning for love and striving for love and looking for love around every single corner, it's like we end up attracting the same type of person that we are at that time, a needy person, a person who needs to have another side of them to be complete or something like that. But when we're whole in ourselves and somebody comes along and it's like, oh my God, I wasn't even looking for you. What is this? It's like, I just can't explain it. It's like it's a gift. It's a gift from the universe. So yeah, I don't throw these kind of cards all the time. So I'm feeling pretty strongly about this, Scorpio. Otherwise, I would not be saying it. Whatever your fears are, you have faced your fears before. And you have found when you did that it wasn't as bad as you thought. First of all, it wasn't as scary as you thought. And then the other thing is that you can overcome it, the fear, the worry. You found that out once you faced it. So they're saying, remember back in 1982, whenever blah, 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 and you faced it, go back and face it. Approach this the same way. Okay, Prince of Autumn. Yeah. He's dependable, he's protective, he's chivalrous, and he's humorous. So why is he showing up in your health and wellness? And basically what they're saying is approach this whole situation, these worries and fears that are making you back up a little bit. And this is male or female. I don't know. You could be, you could be a woman wanting to move forward with this guy. You could be a guy wanting to move forward with a woman. You could be a woman wanting to move forward with a woman, or man and man. It doesn't matter. You apply the characters where they fit. But this is saying, you don't have to just go stupid and blurt out, all your fears and worries or whatever. Be cautious. Handle it with detail. Handle it the way you handle your business. Your fears and your worries. Handle that the way that you handle your business. Be meticulous about the detail about how you're going to face that fear or whatever. You did it already. You've already done it, so you know what to do. So just walk out those same actions, Scorpio. Let me tell you something. That is like so incredible to me. I'm excited for you. And right now we're going to do a PS, because I love PSs. If you watch any of my videos, I absolutely love PSs. I don't know why, because I'm weird. But thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I want to say definitely thank you to all my subscribers already that I have. And this is an amazing journey. Your comments, your support, all that stuff, it's just fabulous. And I am so grateful to be a part of your lives, and for you to be a part of mine too. Okay, so if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. God, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, guides, we ask you to give us a PS for Scorpio. I'm just not real sure how this could get much better, but whatever you want to say. Hello, just hello, that's fine. We're looking for the PS on Scorpio's Sealing the Timeline reading. Looks like all they want you to do is face your fears, Scorpio. It looks like you have your stuff together. Don't worry about what other people think. That's not important. You would not be who you are today. You would not be where you are today. And you would not be in the relationship you're in today if you had taken everybody's advice along the way. Don't worry about what other people think. Okay. And next is King of Pentacles. Okay. This is the second time this is showing up in your card. So you're resourceful. You know how to approach this. You know how to approach the fear and the worry, and you know how to approach this next step. You're very resourceful. You're very charming and compassionate. You have this under control. Okay? It's your time, Scorpio. It's your time to rise and shine and accept the blessings from the universe. And this is so much, according to what I'm looking at here, a true blue blessing for you. Okay, Scorpio, I am so glad you stopped by to see me today. There's no, well, you know. But I'm glad you came by, and I hope that you stop by again. Until then, have a super, super day. Bye.